The journey of Michael McKoy Jr., the heart of a fighter. Michael McKoy Jr. was never destined for greatness in the traditional sense. At 14, he had already built a reputation as the weakest of the McKoy brothers, awkward in his movements, lacking coordination, and constantly struggling to grasp even the basic techniques of Isshinryu Karate. But what Michael Jr. lacked in natural talent, he more than made up for in heart. He was determined to carry on his father's legacy, even if the odds were stacked against him. This is the story of Michael Jr.'s journey, a tale not of an exceptional warrior, but of a boy who refused to give up, even when faced with overwhelming failure. Episode 1. The struggles begin. From a young age, Michael Jr. idolized his father, Michael McKoy Sr., the perfect karate weapon forged by Joan Felinzak. He wanted nothing more than to live up to the McKoy name and carry on the family's Isshinryu legacy. But as hard as he tried, karate didn't come naturally to him. His punches lacked precision, his stances were weak, and his katas were sloppy. He could feel the judgment of his older brother Robert, whose anger only grew as he watched Michael Jr. fail time and again. Despite the mockery and the frustration, Michael Jr. refused to quit. He would spend hours after class practicing, trying to perfect his technique, but it never seemed to be enough. His brothers, especially Jacob, constantly teased him, calling him a disgrace to the McKoy name. Yet every insult only made Michael Jr. more determined. Still, doubt lingered in his mind. Was he truly cut out for this? Could someone like him ever live up to his father's legacy? Episode 2. The Outsider's Challenge. One day, during a regular training session at the McKoy dojo, an outsider arrived. His name was Corey, a brash and arrogant teenager from a rival dojo who had heard of the McKoy family and their once great reputation. Corey had come to challenge them, mocking the dojo's decline and taunting the McKoy brothers. Robert, filled with anger, immediately stepped forward to accept the challenge, but before he could, Michael Jr. surprised everyone by stepping into the ring himself. His brothers were stunned. Michael Jr. was the last person they expected to stand up to Corey, knowing full well that he was no match for him. As the fight began, it quickly became clear that Corey was the more skilled fighter. Michael Jr. struggled to keep up, his punches slow and his movements predictable. Corey landed blow after blow, knocking Michael Jr. to the ground repeatedly. His brothers watched in silence, their expectations low, knowing that this was yet another failure in the making. But Michael Jr. refused to stay down. Every time Corey knocked him down, Michael Jr. got back up. His determination was unwavering. Bruised and battered, he continued to stand, refusing to give in to the pain. It wasn't skill that kept him going, it was heart. Though Michael Jr. ultimately lost the fight, something shifted in the dojo that day. His brothers saw, perhaps for the first time, the strength that lay within him, not in his physical abilities, but in his spirit. Corey left the dojo, unimpressed by Michael's lack of skill, but the McKoy family had a newfound respect for the brother who never gave up. Episode 3. The Unlikely Mentor. Word of Michael Jr.'s relentless spirit began to spread, and soon, an unexpected visitor arrived at the dojo, an old, weathered man named Sensei Matsuda. Matsuda was a retired karate master who had once trained alongside Sensei Dale Jenkins in Okinawa. He had heard of the McKoy family's struggles and had come to see the boy with heart, the one who wouldn't stay down. Though Michael Jr. was hesitant at first, Matsuda offered to train him, not as a great fighter, but as someone who needed to understand his own strengths. Matsuda saw something in Michael Jr. that others had missed, a willpower that could not be taught. He explained to Michael Jr. that karate wasn't just about skill, it was about perseverance, focus, and resilience, qualities Michael already possessed. Under Matsuda's guidance, Michael Jr. began to train in a new way. Instead of focusing on mastering flashy techniques or perfect strikes, Matsuda taught him to use his greatest asset, his heart. He trained Michael Jr. to stay calm under pressure, to endure, and to find strength in his perseverance. While his brothers focused on power and speed, Michael Jr. was learning the art of patience and endurance. Episode 4. The Heart of the Dojo. Months passed, And while Michael Jr. never became the strongest fighter in the dojo, something remarkable happened. He became the heart of it. His perseverance inspired others. Students who once looked down on him for his lack of skill now saw him as a role model. They admired his refusal to quit, even when things seemed impossible. Robert, who had once mocked Michael Jr.'s failures, now saw his brother in a new light. He realized that leadership wasn't just about strength, it was about heart. Michael Jr. wasn't the best fighter, but he embodied the spirit of Isshinryu in a way that none of the brothers had understood before. He had learned that true strength came from within. One day, as the dojo faced a particularly tough challenge from a rival dojo, it was Michael Jr. who rallied the students. Though he didn't fight in the final match, his presence, his calm, and his unwavering belief in his family's legacy helped lead the dojo to victory. His brothers, once divided by their differences, began to unite under Michael Jr.'s example. Episode 5: A Legacy Reborn. Though Michael Jr. never became a karate champion, he achieved something far more important. He restored the spirit of the McKoy Dojo. His heart and determination helped bring his family together and reignited the flame of Isshinryu that had once flickered out. He taught his brothers that the true essence of karate wasn't about being the strongest fighter in the room. It was about having the courage to keep going, no matter how many times you fell. In the end, Michael Jr. became a different kind of martial artist, one who led with his heart, not just his fists. His journey, filled with failures and struggles, became a testament to the idea that perseverance is the true mark of a warrior. And in his own way, Michael Jr. had lived up to his father's legacy, carrying on the teachings of Isshinryu in a way that was uniquely his own.